Hey guys, it's Malachi. So today I'm back with a brand new video, and this is just going to be how college auditions work and me sharing about my BFA musical theater and I guess a few BM musical theater college audition process, tips for college auditions. I did have a pretty extensive college audition process. I took part in most of the main audition formats and I applied to schools and pre-screened for schools with a lot of different requirements. I know things are going to be a little different with the whole pandemic moment, but I think that having knowledge on how it's worked in the past might be useful because some schools in this coming year might say like, instead of doing blank, we will be blank. And you're like, well, what is the first blank? If you're a new viewer to my channel, hi, welcome. Definitely hit subscribe for future videos about college auditions, school, my life at college, fashion, lifestyle. And if that is you, you may not know, I'm an incoming musical theater major at Indiana University. I am super excited. That said, I feel like me and most people who've been through this process can probably share a lot more than just about their school, because even though I did end up picking Indiana, I still applied, auditioned, and chose from a bunch of other schools. This video is going to be a collab with Samantha Rios, who's a rising sophomore at the University of Michigan's musical theater program. She makes awesome videos, and this one is going to be about the truth about being a college MT and what life is like as a musical theater major. So I will link her video in the description and in the cards if you are interested. Keep in mind that I'm speaking from my own personal experience and she's speaking from hers, so nothing I say is like on behalf of IU or any of the coaches I worked with, any instructors. It's just purely my thoughts. With all of that said, let's just get started. So spring 2019, I started working with a college audition coach, Michelle J. Evans from the CAP College Audition Project team. I think she's great. College audition coaches are definitely helpful, but they're also very expensive. So I definitely don't think that you have to go through this process with one. I have friends going to fantastic schools who did no formal college audition coaching. So in the spring, we started going through monologue material, talking about songs, and really just like building up my rep in those areas. I was working with a voice teacher separately, so it would usually be that like me and my college audition coach would kind of like look at songs storyline wise, and then me and my voice teacher would like see if it worked for my voice and if we wanted to use it. But I definitely got started on material pretty easy, and it made it nice because then when pre-screens and audition time started coming around, I had a lot to pick from. So early in the summer, I did go to an intensive. It was the Performing Arts Project, TPAP. I thought it was great. Super helpful, gave me a lot of like knowledge on the process overall. I totally recommend one that's like not directly affiliated with the college. I think that one that just has a lot of teaching artists from different schools, from Broadway, just like in the industry in general, was really nice because I feel like I got a broader overview, and like tidbits that I got from lots of instructors came in handy throughout the year. So by the time midsummer came around, maybe July 6th or 7th, I say maybe as if I don't know the exact date, July 7th, I came home from my summer intensive and started working on my essays, and that is probably the best thing I did for myself the whole process. By August 1st, when the Common App opened, I was able to start applying to schools, the ones that only had the Common App essay, and then I was able to get started on my other essays. If the prompt is out, get started on it. Even the ones that aren't for like artistic purposes and musical theater programs, you can probably guess based on what the prompts were my year. I can't really see a way how they would change to a large extent. So if you want to look up what prompts were for previous years, you totally can, and maybe get like a framework going. Okay, so late summer. At this point, it's probably August, and I've probably applied to my first 15 schools. This is when I sort of really get started with the arts application part. I believe I filmed my pre-screen dance like August 10th. My sister filmed it with my camera. My dance teacher choreographed it. I think I sent that dance into the first half of my pre-screens, and then I ended up refilming it about a month later, September 10th or September 11th. Just because I thought that it could be a little sharper. I will never know if it made a difference just because so many factors go into a pre-screen and a pre-screen decision. I think I started school around August 15th, and at that point I was pretty much done with academic applications. I know a few went out at the very end of August and early September, but I was really done pretty early, and I'm glad I was, and that I took that component so seriously so early because I think it eliminated a lot of stress. I forgot to mention this in the spring section of my video, but I did join Crucible Cast Party, and this year that group will be called The Search for Elle Woods, and that is basically a large Facebook forum for people going through the college audition process for musical theater and acting, and people who have done it previously within the past couple years. During the fall, which is my next section, I did leave that group. Nothing particularly bad happened. I was just scrolling through it all the time and like kind of getting too much of people's business that I didn't want to know. So I left that. I did end up rejoining second semester. But in the fall, I scheduled a lot of early auditions. The thing about early auditions, especially when schools will give you a response in the fall, is that you are seen amongst a smaller group of people, but then you've also had the least college audition experience and the least time to prepare, so it's kind of a mixed bag. I'm personally glad that I did fall auditions just because I feel like I needed purpose for my school year, and I was like antsy and like really anxious to get started and start traveling and like not be at my high school. It's kind of funny, I used the second school I auditioned for like November 9th, so in theory I could have like stopped and like saved lots of time and thousands of dollars. Speaking of thousands of dollars, there's been a lot of discussion recently about like how the BFA musical theater process is kind of like disproportionate and disadvantages a lot of minority students and even just like people without a lot of money in general. So I am gonna leave an Instagram link down below for this account called the Fund for College Auditions. It's an organization, and I know, or at least know of people who have used it before. So if financial aid for this process is something you're looking for, I will definitely leave some information about it in the description. Late fall, I went to CAP United Auditions, which is run by the College Audition Project. There are lots of mass college audition programs, but what's really nice about CAP United is that over 2 days you audition for 36 schools, and it's just 2 main auditions, each with like 18 teams of faculty there, and then dance calls and obviously callbacks for schools who are interested in you. I think I went to 6 of my callbacks there, and I only had to sing at 2 of them, so that was really nice. I also did my first campus visit to a school I had been accepted to late fall, and I will say that being on a campus as an accepted student is definitely different than going to any school for an audition. For better or for worse, it's just a different environment when you're there and you've been accepted, and now instead of you campaigning for yourself to get in, the schools are sort of trying to incentivize you to go there. It just gives you a different feel. I don't know if I'd call this a whole section, but like Christmas break season after finals was when I really got my acting together and sort of like beat my material down. I really wish I would have done this sooner, honestly. And I definitely worked with my coaches super closely to like dig into my material, but I think there's just this level of like personal investment that will come when it's like you're doing the character breakdown sheets, like you're doing your story arcs, like you're taking all these notes, like you're testing beats in a billion different places, really figuring out what it means to you. That's the thing, like so much more of this process is up to you and the individual investment you put in. And that's why I would say so many people who don't use coaches can still like do the work and like dig into the material and have great success. So continuing on with the winter season, Chicago Unifieds were a blast. I would honestly say that was like my favorite series of auditions, at least in terms of like being in the room individually and like going to dance calls. I really think doing a bunch in a row sort of removes a lot of the stress and like individual attachment to like the school, and you just kind of really get to like sit there and like focus on like being within your material and living in that moment. I also did 2 more on-campus auditions for a total of 4. 3 of them I had to go to the campus because the schools didn't go to remote audition locations, and then 1 of them I just chose to. I'm not sure exactly what date I ended up hearing from my last program, but it was after the stay-at-home order had taken place, so a lot of visits were no longer possible, but that makes me very glad that I sort of had a vision going into this process. I didn't necessarily have a numbered list, but I definitely had like tiers, I guess, of like types of schools I wanted to go to, and not even based on like their competitiveness or acceptance rate, but simply based on like what type of overall school environment it was. I'm wearing my IU sweats, but I am getting up to get my bullet journal because my friend Faith, who goes to Elon, I was getting lunch with her the day before my first audition, and she was telling me about how the process is so intuitive. This process definitely brings about joys and disappointments, but I can honestly say it didn't bring me many surprises. I think when you pay attention, it's very clear what schools you will and won't get into, because you're either like in the audition room, like having a moment with those people, like feeling like you're connecting and like you'd get along or you're not. I actually don't know why I got the bullet journal, but oh yeah, because I took, after all of my auditions, I took like notes, and I don't know, looking back, it's just very much like when I was at Indiana, like everything I wrote made it seem like I'd have like a comfortable, positive experience there. I don't know why I mentioned that, but I feel like a lot of the like language, especially used by parents around the college audition process, is that it's kind of like random and like anyone can be like drawn out of a hat. And I really don't think that's true. I think certain people will do better certain places, and I think by the end of it, most people end up being excited about where they're going, and you either get there and you love it or can live with it, or you know, you transfer, you major in something else. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that it was useful to you. If it was, please let me know in a comment down below and give this video a thumbs up so I know that you guys want me to make more of them. I really wanted to create this resource and start this series because I only knew about like Courtney's Break Room and Crucible Cast Party because of Audrey Challenger, who makes YouTube videos. So I wanted to make YouTube videos to help others. I made a community tab post on my YouTube channel asking for questions for a future college audition video, just so I can kind of get topics and really figure out what you guys want to hear more of. So leave specific questions there, leave topics on this video. I also have an Instagram story highlight tab called IDK 2024, so you can get a little glimpse of my audition journey and what it looked like there as well. So definitely follow me. Once again, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you can see all my new uploads. Go check out Samantha's video for lots of information on life as a college MT, and I will see you next time. Bye.